Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakudash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach your real well. And Shalom to the sincere Akim, brings truth and sincerity. Shalom. So this video I want to talk about going with the flow. And what I mean with that is that, in our life, we come across obstacles, we come across situations, and, sometimes these situations might be very unfair, man. It might be, a situation where you're like, hey, this is so unfair. Why is nothing, being done about it, man? And those are things that I'm dealing with at the job now, working for Amalek. They put me through the education, becoming a first mechanic, electrical technician. And, for the first 6 months, I haven't even, done a single thing, which was literally work related, to the function that I would step into, once I would be done, with my education. Then also being blamed for certain things, which are all related to things that are not being done correctly by the people that prepare our jobs, which even other people at the office back me up for. A situation yesterday that occurred with the foreman. Right now we're working with two teams on a project in a certain neighborhood, and sometimes we come together to work in a single street with a lot of light poles. And yesterday I had a big argument with how certain things were being taught to me by my foreman of my team, and my prior foreman doing my internship. So I got into that conversation with the man, about, which pictures have to be taken, this, that, and the third, and that the way that I was being taught is how I did it, and send them to him as well. But then he explained to me, I want the picture to be taken from a distance, you see the connection that you made in front of the pole. And I said, yeah, I understand what you mean, but I was being taught differently. Then the conversation came, with my own foreman and the other foreman, which has the oversight of the whole team of 8 to 10 people. And then I explained the same thing. He explained me, before you make the connection, you just have the connectors there. You make the picture. I sent it to him. He said, I just need to wrap it with the band and with the tape. And later on, people would, basically squirt resin in it. And then other pictures had to be made. Picture when the light post is fixed correctly, in the ground, it's, upright, it's straight, things like that. So I left all that. But then he also started complaining about that. Then I explained him the situation, how it was, and the fact that I was being taught differently on how to make the pictures. Then the man came, then I asked him, okay, so show the pictures that you make of your things. He showed 4 pictures, and he did not show the pictures that the oversight, the foreman that has the oversight of the whole 2 teams that he wanted. So all of a sudden he said, okay, end of discussion. You're not in my team no more. Why? Because he felt that he could not be, that he would not come winning out of the argument, man. Because it even came, and asked my colleague to come as a witness, because prior to that I had a conversation, with the overseeing mechanic or the overseeing foreman and and my colleague, man. But then the truth and the proof came, and the proof is in the pudding, that I was being taught differently than how he wanted it, and that I was basically being taught wrong. And I was standing up for that, like, hey, this is the situation. You blame me, you come to me with this whole thing, but the problem is how things are being done, and being taught from on high. You see? So all these things happened, in the time span that I've been working for them for, a year and a half. And then you'd be like, why is these things happening to me? Why are these things happening at the job like that I'm always having these clashes with them concerning truthful matters, man, concerning factual matters. But then you also have to realize, like, the Heavenly Father has a certain plan, man. We should not really lean on to our own way of thinking and on our own understanding concerning how things are going. But we should just, basically, go with the flow, man. Go through the motion, accept that these things happen like this, But yeah, this is Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. Yeah, so whatever situation we're in, we need to understand that the Heavenly Father put us in those situations, man. So I'm being put in a situation at the job working for Amalek, with all these things happening that are basically negative towards my life. But, I have to trust the Heavenly Father that He has a certain thing for me planned, concerning job or concerning finances. I don't know, but Heavenly Father knows. And I should never rely on my own understanding or on the way that I'm perceiving the situation to be. Because it might turn out that, all this works in my favor. It might be that it all works out in my favor, and then I'm going to be on top of that, man. Because the Heavenly Father has a funny way of doing things, with people that are being put in a lower statement, that are basically being looked at as nothings, man. So I don't know what the Heavenly Father has planned for me, but I just have to see, man, how things go and unfold. Verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. And so we have to acknowledge the Heavenly Father, in the way that He directs our steps and what He brings in our life. And then He's going to direct the paths that we take, man. He steers the way. And I had a dream about that years ago, that I was on a ship, kind of in the, it looked a bit like the smaller, waters in between the houses that we have in Holland. And all of a sudden, I was steering the ship, but then it, took off, like very, very fast, and I was just holding on. And I was like, hey, we're gonna hit everything, we're gonna hit the sides of the water. But then the boat just passed by through the Spirit of Power of Yahweh Shem, and it just went through it perfectly. That shows that the Heavenly Father is control, man. Even when we're speeding up, when we're slowing down, when it might seem that we hit certain things, man. The Heavenly Father is in control, and He shall not let His let His loved ones be forsaken, man. Those are things that we just need to remember, man. The Heavenly Father, His mind is above our mind, man, and sometimes it's a bitter pill to swallow, during the situations that we're in, and we feel like we're being mistreated. But hey, look at Yahweh Shai. He was mistreated all the time. He was mistreated all the time, and hey, it might be that's the lesson for me right now to learn, man. To suffer wrongfully in situations and to accept it, which for me is very hard, man. It's very hard. Why? Because I don't like unrighteousness. I don't like it when situations are unjust. But yet, the time is coming that we're going to be persecuted, and the way that we're going to be persecuted is unjust. Is very unjust. Because what we're doing is actually righteous. We're being persecuted for our righteousness' sake. And concerning going with the flow, sometimes you have these dreams that are, just very peaceful and calm. But you must also have those situations when you're in a very rough, piece of water. You might be, on the sea, with the thunderings and the waves, tossing you to all the sides, man. And it's kind of hard to imagine that, but even then, we have to go with the flow, trust the process, and it's hard. I know, it's hard. We're in the flesh. But the Heavenly Father is looking down from on high, watching our steps, already knowing what He's going to do for us, while we're suffering in the flesh, while we're being vexed, while we're being irritated and things like that. Trying to develop us and to create us into, beings that are, worthy of salvation, because we have to put on that, that white garment, right? Become more and more a new creature in Yahweh Shai, and put off the old man, So yeah, was what was it? Was Mark or something where I spoke about the ship? Let me see where it was. This is Mark chapter 4. There's a better one in Matthew. No, the one in Mark is a little bit better because it's more compact. This is Mark chapter 4, verse 37. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? So when Yahweh Shai, the disciples, was on the ship, a great storm arose, and the disciples became afraid, because of, them being in the ship being tossed to and fro. And you can look at it as, being in the water, and going with the flow. Because in that situation, the ship was in a very, a position that was not very unpleasant position that they was in. But Yahweh Shai was just sleeping in the hinder part of the ship, man. In the back of the ship, he was just sleeping there, not really being bothered by, what happened, with the ship being in the storm. And that's the mindset that we actually should have, man, while we are going through these things. Because the Heavenly Father has our backs, man. It might look like, we're losing things, we're losing jobs, we're losing people in our life. But actually the Heavenly Father is always doing us a favor, man. Setting us up for something better. Setting us up for something good. But before that, the Heavenly Father wants us to be prepared for what He has in store for us. Verse 39, and he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another, What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? You see, so Yahweh Shai, he was like, Hey, why don't you have any faith, man? While we are on this ship, and the seas come, and it might seem that it's going bad, but actually, don't worry about it. The Heavenly Father got us. That's what He actually says, man. And that's how we should also look at our lives. The way that we should approach certain situations. And like I said, it's not easy. We're still in the flesh, but we need to, have these things in our mind, man. Have it in remembrance that these are the things, that we need to meditate about during our situations, because the scriptures even says, where it says the house built upon a rock. This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And a rock is Yahweh Shai. We understand that Yahweh Shai is in the volume of the book. Yahweh Shai was the word. So if we build our foundation upon the truth, upon Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and the things that are contained therein, then whatever happens in our life, how ill the situation might look, eventually, we're going to be unmovable, man. Like that house built upon a rock. It says, and everyone that heareth these things of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. Yeah, because when then these trials and tribulations come, you didn't build your foundation upon, what was in the scriptures, and you applied those in your life, then whatever is going to happen in your life, it's going to overtake you, man. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. You see? So that's the situation, man. We should build our foundations upon, the things that are contained in the scriptures, man. So yeah, this is Proverbs 3:5 again. Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. And all the ways acknowledge him, and he should direct our paths, man. So we should just go with the flow, no matter, the condition of the flow of the water, whether it is calm, whether it is a bit more, rougher, or whether it's a crazy storm, man. So yeah, with that, I hope and pray that this video was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading truth and sincerity. Shalom.